Hello everyone, here's the video on how to create your Surrealism pictures. Hit your start button, go to Adobe Photoshop CS5 64-bit, and when you are in Photoshop, as long as you have your pictures already taken, all you should need to do is go to File, Scripts, and then Load Files into Stack. This takes out a little bit of time and saves you from having to put in one picture and then place the other one on top. So locate your pictures, go down to my Surrealism folder, and I'm going to start with these two pictures here. So these would be my example of a modified version of the fence option. I already have my two pictures selected, and before I click OK, I'm going to make sure that I click this Attempt to Automatically Align Source Images box. If I click this box and then I click OK, Photoshop is going to try to auto-align anything that might be off in case you moved your camera a little bit. So here are my two pictures. I have an empty laundry basket and then my daughter inside the laundry basket. So I'm going to add a layer mask to, actually I wanted to add that to the top picture. So I'm going to add a layer mask to my top picture, take my paintbrush and switch my color to black. And this is the part that is very similar to the multiplicity midterm, where all you have to do is use your layer mask and hide and reveal parts of the picture. So I'm not going to do all of the squares here from the laundry basket because that would be the same exact picture. So I'm just going to pick and choose some of them. Now, as you can see, my laundry basket still is off a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the arrows and my move tool, and I'm going to use the arrows on my keyboard to line this picture back up. So now that looks like it's lined up, and then all I have to do is crop off the part that did not line up. So when I use my crop tool, I get rid of that extra space on the top. Now I can go back to my paintbrush and I can select which ones I want to hide and reveal. Now the color on my basket kind of differentiated a little bit. It's kind of whiter in the other picture. So I'm going to keep it as close as I can to the very edge. And I'm again just going to select some of the boxes and reveal them. So I might group some together. That's the part where you can see her mouth. But then I might leave these ones blank. Get a couple down here. You don't have to do every box, but make it interesting. And just do some here and there. Create a pattern or just pick some at random. So if you accidentally go over into one, just hit X on your keyboard and then you can edit that one back out. So if I was okay with this, then I would go to File, Save As, and this would be option number 1. Now remember, you have to create 4 of these. So I'm going to show you how to do another option. So I'm going to go back to File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack, Browse, and then here is the example I showed some of you in class. This would be my example with lines. So I select both images, click Attempt to Automatically Align, and then click OK. Alright, so these are rendered in. I'm going to add my layer mask to the top picture. My paintbrush is selected. I have black selected, so now I can start hiding some of these out. And again, the color changed in the background a little bit, but if I go through the entire section in between these bars from the baby gate, it won't really matter. So I'm just going to skip every other one. So this one's fine. I'll edit that one out. Leave that one alone. Edit this one out. So as you can see, these don't take very long. It's just making sure that your pictures are aligned so you don't have to move them over and that everything matches up. And then that one I'll leave alone, and this one's fine because she's not in that part of the picture. Now I do have a little bit of the gray and white checkerboard up there, so I'm going to make sure that I take my crop tool and crop those parts out. Matter of fact, I'm going to move it in a little bit. And then I would go ahead and save this one. Actually, I messed up a little bit on the bottom, so I'll take that up from the bottom too. And then I would go ahead and save this one. And the last one I have to show you is with the mirror. So I'm going to go back to Scripts, Load Files into Stack, Browse. I'm going to take one picture of my daughter, and then I'm going to take one picture of my son next to the mirror. And let's use this one. click OK, and I will click attempt to auto align, and then click OK. Now, these ones aren't going to turn out perfect because Jack is too close to the mirror. So if I go like that, he's right up against the mirror, so when I bring him in, it's going to look a little weird. Instead of me adding a layer mask, I'm going to show you an alternate way to do this. I can actually just take my quick selection tool, and I can select the mirror here. I'm just making sure every part with Abby is selected. Since nothing moved and I used actually didn't have a tripod, I just kind of set it up on top of the box, I can select the mirror and then just hit delete on my keyboard, and it's going to delete everything that was inside there. And that's actually part of my wife's hand there. So I'm going to hit Control Z, hold down Alt, take that part out. But as you saw, when I hit delete, nothing really changed on the mirror, but it brought Jack into that part. So if I wanted to try to fix this, I could, but I'm not going to be able to get him all the way out anyway and not have this part messed up. I just wanted to show you how easy it was. You don't actually have to add the layer mask. What I did was from that first picture, I just deleted that section, and it reveals the picture beneath it, which is the picture of Jack in front of the mirror. I could do the same exact thing with a layer mask and not damage my picture, but as long as everything is set up on a tripod and you take the pictures the right way, you should just be able to hit delete and then reveal your other mirror behind it, and then you can save it and finish up. So that's 3 options. I have my modified fence, one with lines, and then the mirror. I don't have one interacting with an object because I did not have time. But it's the same thing. You go to File, Scripts, load files into Stack, and then you would use a layer mask to reveal the second picture. If you have any questions at all, please ask me while you're working on these. And when you're taking your pictures, again, please make sure you are using a tripod.